Hey guys, this video is going to be a review of Life as We Knew It by Beth Pfeffer, I believe is the author's name. I don't actually have the book with me because I left it at home after Thanksgiving break. I mentioned it briefly already in my November wrap-up, but basically I'm just going to go into what I said in that video. I just overall feel really neutral about this book. I didn't hate it, but I didn't really like it either. The biggest thing for me is that while I thought everything was done very realistically, because for those of you who don't know what the book is about, it is an apocalyptic book. A meteor hits the moon. The entire book is supposed to be a girl's diary, but a meteor hits the moon and knocks the moon closer to Earth and affects the tides, and so you get the sense that like the coastlines flood everywhere around the world. The main character is in like New York, away from the coast, so ends up being okay from the flooding, but it's just the entire world kind of goes into a disaster. Everything falls apart. They have to hoard food. They're like going to the supermarkets and loading as much in carts as they can in order to stock up on food because they don't think that food's going to come after that. And then it's just kind of the story of her and her family surviving after this apocalyptic event as the world's kind of just falling apart around them and all of the systems are just falling apart and everything. And I thought it was done very realistically. I could see how everything was working, and I thought that it all made sense, and the way that the characters react to things made sense to me, and I thought that was all done very realistically. But at the same time, I thought it went into too much detail a lot of the time. Like, I get why things were done, because it kind of shows you the entire situation and what's happening, but it was also very boring to me personally. And I was talking about this with some people in my class because I read this from my adolescent literature class about how it doesn't seem very diary-ish because it's almost just first-person narrative with dates, and it doesn't really feel like a diary the vast majority of the time because you're getting her point of view, but it's very detailed, far more detailed than you would expect a diary to be. The vast majority of the time there's some shorter entries, but most of them are pretty long. And she goes through all this dialogue, and who writes dialogue in their diary, especially like really detailed dialogue. So it doesn't seem very diary-ish to me, even though for a good portion of the book she's not really doing anything during the day because they're stuck at home. So it kind of makes sense that she would spend a lot of time writing in her diary. But it just, I don't know, I just didn't really like it. I didn't really like the style of it, even though I could see why someone would. So overall, I could see people really liking the book. I know a lot of people in my class really enjoyed it. I didn't so much. There are apparently like 2 other books, I think, but I thought this one worked fine on its own, and I'm probably not going to read those since I wasn't a huge fan of these. And my professor said that apparently something happens in the 3rd one that made a lot of people really angry, so since I didn't even really like the first one, I'm probably not going to bother to read the others. If you like apocalyptic stories, maybe you would like this one, I'm not so sure. I just didn't really enjoy it all that much, but I didn't hate it either. I'm just extremely neutral, and I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I actually think I might go back and give it 3. I don't know, I was feeling kind of generous when I rated it, I guess, because like I can't find anything wrong with it really, I just don't like it. So yeah, I don't know, that's just kind of how I feel about it, but I will see you guys later.